I have never done this before, but I'm going to call you out. You are never going to be successful. You know who you are. And if you don't yet, I'm about to show the world who you are. So without further ado, let's get in my YouTube comments and let me tell you a story about one of our fans. Let's jump right in. All right, welcome back Airbnb family. So we have a fan out there, you could call it a hater, and he seems hell-bent on having a problem. And it's not just him, there's another one. I'm gonna see if I can dig this comment up too. But he said, if you actually make a couple $1 million a year on Airbnb, why are you wasting your time on this YouTube channel? So let's deal with him second, but let's jump into this comment. Let me read this back to you, this is fun. So the gentleman, Wo Jak, this is 4 hours ago, July 30th, in response to our video, How to Make It Happen, an acronym on how to develop habits that will lead you to be successful. He didn't buy it, apparently. So let's watch this. So he's like 7 minutes and 3 seconds. There it is. Call me for $500 an hour. You intentionally made this video as vague and useless and uninformative and philosophically chartreuse as filled to the brim with buzzwords so they could be led on with more vague information. Instead, why not show people how to actually make it happen by displaying the step-by-step processes of starting your newspaper business that led you to attain a credit score worthy enough of qualification to sign the contract lease agreements and deposit sufficient capital for the business model you claim supports your lifestyle and high income you claim to have today. Where are all the real success stories / interviews of the people you've helped? And Sean Ray, my best friend, actually responds after this. But let's stop right there. Any of you who've any benefit from this channel yet, leave it in the comments right now. I want to hear if you've started an Airbnb business, even just a property. Have you improved your income from this channel? Do you like the pricing strategy videos? Do you get anything at all from my non-Airbnb content, like the video How to Make It Happen? Do you like learning how to be a business owner? If so, leave it in the comments. And I'm not blocking Wo Jak because I'm going to let Wo Jak continue to watch and learn as we all grow, because he's definitely missing a huge point, and that's why he's not going to be successful. But let me continue. And so Sean Ray states, he's like, man, you are really onto something, Wo Jak. So I actually did this in a video recording. And so Sean Ray says, so Sean, can you make a video about how you set up your newspaper company? Do you guys want to actually know that? Because it's non-Airbnb related and the newspaper industry is kind of on its tail end. There's some value I can give you there. A lot of it's about how to fight the good fight even though you're losing. If you want me to talk about my newspaper business more, say it now. You guys call it, all right? Second, you can make another video about how you became a accredited investor. Well, that's fast, but I could do one. Essentially, when you make more than $250,000 a year for a certain number of years, you're automatically an accredited investor. Otherwise, you have to have like $1 million net worth or better. Well, that was super easy. I crushed that $250,000 a year on Airbnb like my third year, which was Super Bowl year, and we like quadrupled up after that and then doubled up after that. So, and by the way, Wo Jak doesn't get it. Like he's asking for proof. Oh, well, actually, hold on. I'm skipping ahead. Let's keep going. So can you make another video about how your W-2 job, how you can take your W-2 job and get approved for a new LLC with finances flowing through it? Well, I can. First off, I haven't had a W-2 job in forever. I was a contract salesperson, 1099 for years before I went homeless, and then I went homeless to starting a business. So I started a business without even having a job, right? I had barely enough money to pull anything off, and I started my own business. We can talk about that more, but it's even easier than having a W-2 business, and we got cash running in that. That also has to do with me starting my newspaper business, so maybe we will talk about that. And then you can talk about how trash your credit score was when you got your first Airbnb apartment and how you overcame that. Well, I actually just did a video on that. The tile is $4,000 to $4 million. So Sean Ray, awesome idea, by the way, and watch that video because yeah, we just talked about how I did it with a 520 something credit score. Yeah, I got evicted and I had my car repossessed and I still built a business. Like 3 of them, without you, Wo Jak. So next, you can bring people that helped you get their first few units and are killing it right now. I think that would be really worth it. Actually, so we just hosted a real estate seminar. Sean Ray, you were there, you would know. And we had people driving in from Houston for this free event that I just put up like very informally. I'm like, hey everybody, we're doing a free real estate education event in Dallas on Saturday at 3 p.m. And we just put out a couple like little graphics and we had people driving in from Houston to Dallas, a 4-hour drive to meet me because they had started Airbnb businesses. and you're going to see them on this channel. So Sean Ray, top marks, because you definitely get it. But of course, it doesn't end there. Wo Jak has more to say. So let me read to you some of what Wo Jak wants to tell us. So Wo Jak says, Sean Ray, of course, it's up to people to decide whether or not to prove themselves and to use information, or just to do anything about it. Successful YouTubers like Graham and Kevin, or Graham meet Kevin, etc., heavily invest and interact and respond to their audience specially critique? Audience specially critique? What do you mean, Wo Jak? They address everything with undeniable examples, and that is how they explode. If a man records himself walking into a bank and asking how much he has in his balance, and then shows his tax returns clearly showing the true income sources that he has, and to top it all off, explains step by step how he got where he was in actual executable format, how can you deny this person of what they're saying? Valid. And why wouldn't he do it if it helps him? The only reason I can think of is this guy either isn't actually who he says he is, or he's lazy, or both. If you expect people to call you for $500 an hour, you better be giving $50,000 worth of executable step-by-step real-world actionable advice. Have you proved your... I think it means have you proved your reputation before claiming it to be proven? Because in this world, anyone can say anything and fake their way to the top while leaving bodies behind. For an example of this, look at Ty Lopez. Agreed. Wo Jak, you and I agree. So Sean, show us what makes you different. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about a few things on this. But first, it's going to be rent time. It's actually the 30th, right? So I'm paying rent in a couple days. So let me just quickly transfer my rent money into my rent account real quick. And then we're going to go look at my Clarity account. We're going to look at the reviews. So, okay. Rent done. All right, now the Clarity reviews. There are 55 reviews for me to read to you. Yes, I'm billing people $8.33 a minute. Let's talk about why. So Wo Jak, here's why you will never be successful. I don't think you understand this. Is you cannot expect to have everything be easy. Right? You can't expect to have everything be free, because even when there's no money exchanged, success still doesn't come free. And there's so many people on this channel, and a lot of you are watching right now, and you are all badass. Wo Jak, you're not, but everybody else on this channel, you are, because you've taken all these videos and you've achieved success. I met you this Saturday. You guys are awesome. And you did it the same way I did. I went and I dug. I dug on Google, I dug on YouTube, I learned how to sell, and I've learned about everything else that I cared about learning on my own through digging and trying, trial and error, applying myself, eventually succeeding. That video, How to Make It Happen, talks about these same principles. These are the principles that I became successful with. It wasn't paying somebody $500 an hour to talk, but it's available out there if somebody wants to very quickly have their pointed questions answered, if they want my actual time. See, Wo Jak, the way this works is I spend time every week making videos doing this. I will sit down when I have some free time and I will stare at a camera and I talk to it once. I don't do retakes, I don't reshoot. This is me talking to you, and then my video editor is going to cut this up. Maybe. He may not even cut this up. He might just let me talk at you for 15 minutes, because that's how sincere I am. I don't need a script. I don't need to write it out. I don't need to think about my points and try to deliver you undeniable evidence, because I am honestly too busy to try to give you your undeniable evidence and research. I'm not a YouTube career person. I don't make my money on YouTube. We make enough ad revenue to pay for my camera guy, and I'm happy with that. And that also brings me to the other point also, which is the other guy asked, if I make a couple $1 million a year on YouTube, why am I wasting my time on this channel? And how about that I don't quit? I never quit. If I commit to something, I'm going to stick to it. And for those of you who have been here for 2 years, I put out my first video talking about my multi-calendar, right? I'm going to show you guys my multi-calendar. I had like 10 listings or less at the time. I was not making $2 million plus a year. I was making $30,000 a month-ish. So I was making more like $350,000 a year on YouTube 2 years ago. And if any of you decided to be less lazy than accusing me to be, you could just go back all the way to the beginning and watch every video in chronological order and see the come up, and watch me share my Airbnb accounts with you, and watch me share that success. And everything I go through, I talk about it. As I'm learning to train cleaners, we talk about it, everything. So I made a commitment years ago to host and run this channel. and I'm still hosting and running this channel because I don't quit, even if it's not worth my time. But then again, how do you know how I value my time? I actually find this worth it. I get a lot of gratification out of this because once you have a lot of money, money's not everything, is it? And that's one thing that second guy, I guess you don't understand, is you think it's all about money. You think that I got here by wanting money. That's like how I became successful. No, I got here because I'm curious. I get excited about things. I love to learn, and I love to grow, and I love to share those things, and I love to apply myself and to master things. I just happen to master things that make money. Cool, right? You can do the same thing too. Why not just learn something, get good at it, try hard, outwork everybody else, and you'll get there. Because we all do something to make money, right? You can either go to work and have a job, or you can take some risks and go at it alone, and voila, here we are, right? I'm a self-employed guy. I own a few businesses. A couple of them have been super successful, and I get to talk to you when I feel like it, from a position where I feel like I have a surplus to give. So yes, now yes, I do allow people to call me for a certain set fee per minute because there's another thing about this. I've designed proprietary sales scripts, powerful sales scripts that I use to knock buildings down to let me Airbnb. And the people that I'm about to show you on this Clarity account, all of these reviews, nothing but 5-star reviews from these phone calls, these testimonials, I've had 180 calls where I've had one-on-one conversations with people to solve their very specific Airbnb problems or to coach them on this script. Do you think I'm just gonna blast my script to thousands of people and then all the people who paid me for the script, they have less efficacy? Because if 20,000 people in the United States alone see a video and start calling every apartment complex in the world using the script that I gave, then all the people who actually are trying their hardest to build this business can't use that same script anymore because it sounds old. I don't care how authentic and effective it is. If you're a person who works at an apartment complex and you get the same phone call 7 or 8 times a week, and you have people walking in and telling you generally the same story and asking to negotiate on the same terms every week, you're gonna get oversaturated because that way to attack the market's gone. So yes, I'm putting up a barrier to keep absolutely everybody in the world from doing it exactly the same way, and that is protecting the people who are trying hardest and actually have made it following my system that protects them from people like you who are lazy. And all you want is like the sauce. You want the sauce for free. Well, Wo Jak, that's why you will never be successful, is because you can never do anything original in your life. You just sit here on your keyboard and try to talk smack at somebody because I'm like helping other people and you're not one of them because you're not my people. You're not part of the Airbnb family and you never will be. And I can tell that. So let's look at these Clarity ones because Wo Jak, I invited you to look, but you probably haven't looked yourself. So let's go in here. We have 55 reviews, all right? July 18th, Mark says, excellent call. Sean is quick to the point and was able to clarify specific questions, saving the time and effort and moving me forward. So that money he spent on me saved him time and effort and moved him forward. And I can actually skip ahead because you're gonna read a bunch of these as I'm just gonna let this run, right? You're gonna let this run. Now there's some that I really liked. Sean is very informative, which helped me out a ton, definitely worth every dollar. Ding. Sean is the real deal. 100 units of high profit Airbnb. Ding. I actually answered questions for somebody via phone and text because the call got dropped. And so I reached out to her and answered all of her questions for free because she tried to call me and her call got dropped. So she didn't pay for more than a couple minutes of the call, but I went through all of her questions via text message because I committed to helping her out, even though the technology that she was using to pay me for my call didn't work. How about that? Wo Jak, I bet you didn't like that. So there's other people on this, let me just actually keep going, worth every penny and more, invaluable to have a mentor like Sean. Thank you. People say they have a nuanced understanding, that I'm an industry leader, I'm a thought leader. There's a bunch. There's absolutely a ton here. And no, you don't have to call me to be successful on Airbnb. That's just the truth. You don't. That $500 an hour phone call, as it sits, I mean, it could go up to 1,000, it could go up to 2,000. It depends on how much time I have or don't have to dedicate to one-on-one phone calls, right? I do this on YouTube, and this is my time that I give, right? This is my time that I'm giving to you and helping you all become successful. And there's other time that I don't have. And just because I gave you my time here doesn't mean that I have 100 hours a week for you. So Wo Jak, man, bro, you're gonna have to figure this one out. There's gonna be people who are just gonna blow by you in life, and you're gonna sit in your basement gamer chair, and you're not gonna do anything with your life because you're waiting for an unreasonable opportunity, right? There's these little tiny windows of opportunity, and there are sometimes people who are new to the game and decide to put their stuff out there, and you could take advantage of that. See, I could sell a course, and I keep promising my audience that the course will come out, and I'm so busy that I haven't been able to release the course on a deadline because I just don't have time to finish filming the course because I'm so busy running my businesses. How's that for proof? So without like anything else to say, guys, I like this channel. I like giving you guys information. I like teaching you things. It helps me learn too. They say you learn the most when you teach. And so this is an opportunity for me to continue to grow. And this is a way for me to mentor lots of people remotely because I don't have time to just one-on-one mentor somebody. It's really tough nowadays, especially since I want to do other things with my life. You know, we can talk about what I'm into, what my hobbies are, what I want out of my life, because Airbnb was an accident and I make a ton of money on it. I'm helping you guys make a ton of money on it, but I went to music school, if you knew that. If any of you knew that, plenty of you do. I originally was going to be an artist, and I intend to try to keep that side of me, and being a business owner is great because I find ways to be expressive, but there has to be some balance. And my friend Sean Ray knows better than anybody, I'm probably one of the least balanced people he knows because I tilt so far forward into my projects that it's kind of hard to see the human side of me sometimes, and I'm working on that. So there's a dark side to being successful, and we can talk about that later too. But Wo Jak, I think that's it. I think I gave you your 15 minutes of fame on this channel, and this is the last time we're gonna bring you up. And I invite you to keep commenting and keep talking smack, because as this channel goes, year over year, and as everybody else becomes successful and other people are making tons of money on Airbnb because it's easy. And that's one thing too, is I'm so used to making money in hard industries like the newspaper industry that I can find the spare time to have this YouTube channel while making money in a new one. And as everybody else continues to make money in real estate, even if it's not in Airbnb, if people find this channel and they start to grow as business owners, they're just gonna blow by you and people are gonna forget about you. And I know I'm being harsh, but sometimes you have to be harsh to wake people up. I've employed people for 10 years and I've seen my employees, they've quit and they've gone homeless. I've seen people end up in jail or die from drug overdoses. I've seen a lot of bad shit in my day from the people I employ. And maybe that's what you're missing, is nobody's ever really called you out on the lie that you live. I love the rest of you. And you know, Wo Jak, I'm rooting for you. I hope you come around, because nobody deserves to be as sad as you. With that said, I'm gonna sign off and actually go to sleep tonight. So thanks for watching Airbnb Automated, and I'll see you on the other side.